Hello there, it's Jody popping into your feed today, and I wanted to talk about women's leadership today. So, this is for you ladies out there. I recently wrote an article on 3 top tips for women building their business, building their career, or building their leadership skills. And I clarified that women's leadership does bring in all the regular leadership skills. But where it's different, where it's refined, is that it takes into account the different experiences and the different dynamics that women face in the working world. And then it also is complemented by all the other leadership core skills. So it brings both into effect. So these are 3 that are very refined specifically for women. And they came about because I've worked with quite a few women entrepreneurs and career builders and women's leaders. And these are the ones that have stood out time and time again. There are many more, but I wanted to highlight these 3 for you today. So here they are. The first one is about owning our power. And I know you've heard that phrase before, but let me give you an example to showcase what it truly means. So we give our power away, and I'm going to give you an example. I was working with a young woman leader, and there was something she was asked to do. It was completely volunteer. And what do we normally do when we're striving? We're new to something. Maybe we're new in a company. We are a yes person. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I want to be agreeable. Yes, I can take on the world and do everything you ask of me. So what do? We say yes. And then we realize this project is much larger than we had imagined. And it is volunteer, going to be a ton of extra hours, a ton of extra energy. And we realize with our full-time work, all our other responsibilities, this extra project that we said yes to, not knowing the scope of, and maybe not always being shared the full extent of what it's going to look like, and being able to process that before we say yes. What happened with myself and this young leader is we realized this was creating quite a bit of overwhelm. And so the outcome was we were going to get this off this leader's plate, and we were going to do it respectfully. And as she was empowered all again to go back to this person and saying, you know what, this is the project I'm not the right person for. It wasn't even in her wheel set of strengths, and was going to go back and say, don't have the time. I'm not this isn't my skill set, but I can help you find people. So she was still going to provide solutions. As she was writing it down and going, this is the date I'm going to do it, so thrilled. There was relief instantly just thinking about doing this. I said, and you're not going to apologize for in that email, right? And she kind of looked at me, and I saw her eyes widen, like, really? Yeah, I wouldn't apologize. And then you could see the wheels go and churn, and then the aha moment of absolutely, why would I apologize? And then she's like, I never would have thought that I shouldn't. It would have just been an automatic response. But here's the reason: we give our power away every time we feel we owe people, we have to prove ourselves. Maybe it's a belief that we're new. Maybe it's a belief that you have to be a yes person. Maybe it's a belief we have to go above and beyond to prove ourselves. We do not. Take your power back. And I described in this article that I wrote that something I do with a lot of my clients when I hear for all different reasons that by thought, by emotion, by control, someone in power, someone in a different higher position, this is what I show them visually. I say, okay, with what you just did, here in your hands is your worth, your value, the contributions you make, who you are as a woman, everything about you, and you just handed it over and said, here you go, take it, it's yours. And we do this in so many ways, so many subtle ways. An apology when we don't really need to give an apology. Did they apologize for asking us to take on this huge project that was probably on their plate? And they just wanted to give it to someone who would be a yes person, and they didn't really let us know how big it was going to be, or even that it was in our area of expertise and it would take a huge undertaking. They're not apologizing. Why are we? There's a time and a place to apologize. These are the small but incremental and substantial times that we continually give our power away when we don't need to. Apologizing is one of them, but there's so many other times in thought where we're giving our power away in our beliefs, giving our power away, where we've been conditioned to believe something, power over to the other person. Take it back, hold your power, and never let it go. Okay, that's the first one. Second one here is about speaking confidence about yourself and into the work you do. And I shared an example. I got to watch an incredible woman leader in a boardroom meeting directors for the first time, having to pitch what she had been doing, what they were about, and the value they had contributed. And it was the first time she was meeting them. The stakes were high. It was kind of a Wall Street Journal type company in LA and global. And here she was with the top team. And within seconds, she created a report. But that wasn't the strength. That wasn't what stood out for me. It was masterfully done. But what she then began to do was start to talk unabashedly, not shy, just forthright to the facts about the value she was bringing to the team, about the work they were doing, about the results it was having, and the impact that their colleagues and the team and the upper management had spoken to it. So instantly she spoke to exactly what these directors wanted to hear and needed to hear, and they needed to know they could have confidence in her by now building that rapport of possibly being coached with her and knowing she was at the same level as them. It was an incredible witness of a woman going in and speaking about not bragging, which we all worry about. We all worry about, are we being too humble? Are we boasting too much? It was masterfully done. And I believe it came second nature for her. It can become second nature to you. The key takeaway here is to do work with us, whether you're building your business, whether you're in an interview, whether you are advancing in your company. We need to speak confidence about ourselves and about the work we're doing into others. We build that confidence of them in us by what we speak. It is so important. It's not enough to think or feel or be confident. We have to speak confidence of ourselves and our work into others. And don't be shy or humble with this. My last point, and I will post a link to the article below so that you can see it, and you check the comments out, it'll be there. I wanted to talk, the last one is about giving too much, asking for too little. And what I wrote about here, and the real drive home point, is we give so much. Again, like over giving, and we take very little. But what I wanted you to focus on in this is that we need to ask for more. We need to have expectations. We need to higher our expectations. And we don't ever adjust our worth because of some outside element, like, oh, well, we really love the work, or this is going to be great for this. If it works for you, wonderful. But if you're adjusting your worth because you think you have to do that for them, we shouldn't adjust our worth. Our worth doesn't change. And so what I want to challenge you to do, and I give this example of a recent contract that I took on, and I realized I had asked for a certain amount because I knew it wouldn't be valuable to me if I didn't. And it was fair and they went for it. But I realized others didn't ask for what they were worth and they were getting less. And it makes me sad that for something, we just don't ask for more. The drive home point here is if we're giving as much as we are, we darn well, pardon the swear, we absolutely need to be asking for more. And we do this time and again. So I want you to look at, in your career, in your business, in your leadership, where are we not asking enough? Where do we not have high expectations? Where are we letting the boundaries shift around our worth? There you have it. The link is below. You can read more about it, but those are 3 takeaways. Just to recap, it's about owning your power, not giving it away, holding tight to it. And number 2 was about speaking confidence about yourself and your work into others. And the last one was about giving too much, asking too little, and we need to ask for more. Raise your expectations and receive more when you do. Thank you for joining here. We will